no hori kori ho kuioi e se doi e hori moi hambaneri handi wei ancha horimpo inde hambano hori ke kori ho inde haui hona mone wa hoi vihi amiri no takin botangitai e hori kori hera honea hori hangin po haui hoi hi ke mai no e hambana bis yo serei hona mo to yo hori mo e hambana vi wei hoi kuri neri hambasan tutiniente hona mo e no e hoi hi mai o vito ya ne kuyo e se dovi e hoi mo e hera hona kucha ho haui ancha hi ummo wa hoi tonere ubihi amiri hi ho.
What is your name and what is your role in the project?
My name is Anthony Archuleta. My role in the project is that I am on the advisory board for the bilingual program.
Okay, sorry, could you just repeat what you just said, Anthony?
My name is Anthony Archuleta, and I am on the advisory board for the bilingual program.
And I'm Edith Piatencio, and I'm a parent, and I've just been newly selected for the advisory board.
My name is Pauline Antoine, and I'm the chairperson for the bilingual program, and I have a niece that is taking bilingual education.
My name is Juan Aguino, and I'm the governor of San Juan Pueblo, and I'm also a member of the advisory committee for the bilingual program. I had 3 sons that have gone through this program, and I have some nieces on this program.
Now, to yon biko ho mo ho. Ne oke oinge hori taiwe. Eri moi. Hamba e yo nere e monere. Hori hoeta i poe sang nere hangi na ho nansoni hori kori netari. Okay.
What is the goal of the program and who does it serve?
The goal of the program is to educate our young ones in the Tewa language and the cultural background of the Pueblo.
Does anyone else have anything to say about the goal of the program and who it should serve? What?
Okay. I think that we have a beginning with the San Juan Day School. I'd like to see it branch out to other schools like the high school and junior high, where we can have a better relation with the other schools.
Anybody else have anything to say about that question?
And our children are also educated in the culture of the village, and they are taught how to do the various dances and the significance of the various dances that are performed within the village.
Let me ask an extra question. Why do you think it's important for your children to learn these things? And anyone can answer that question.
Okay. I think it's important that that our kids learn how to talk this language, because as you can see that I'm in a position where I'm not capable of really carrying out the office of the governor in my duty. This is why I have my lieutenant here doing the Tewa section for the governor's position. And I think that it ought to be stressed that our kids learn how to speak the language like my lieutenant here, so so the kids can carry it on and progress a lot further.
Anybody else have any ideas on why?
Yes, not only does it help us in the future, but it helps the kids understand our culture better, and I think it pertains to make them participate and want to participate in their culture functioning, whether it be participation here at the day school or whenever our tribe have dances. We have noticed that the kids are participating more since the beginning of this bilingual program. I think it's because they understand it more.
How about people in your age group? Did most of the people in your age group learn the language or not?
Well, most of us learned it from our parents, but we never did learn how to read it or write it, but we knew how to talk. But now we are beginning to learn how to read the Tewa language and also to read it.
I might also state that the ordinary way of language is a lot easier than going into the council hall or to other important areas of the community, and that language is a lot harder than ordinary everyday language, which is why I think it's important that it's either written or taped or something so that we can understand it a lot better.
So there's a formal Tewa language and an informal language then.
Right,
Maybe I am not from here. My parents were not from here. I grew up here in San Juan, and I learned to speak the Tewa language as well as my own language. My grandfather taught me this language as well as the kids that I went through school with. And this is why I stress the importance of the bilingual program, because it's not easy to learn two languages, especially now that we're getting involved into or going into other intermarriages, what I'm talking about. And the kids coming out of those marriages may have a hard time speaking just the Tewa language and understanding it.
Let me ask you one more question. It seems to me that a person from this Pueblo or from any Indian group, any Native American group, would find it easier to function wherever he went or wherever she went if he knew something about his own tribe, his own language, and his own traditions. Do you see this as being something that would be good for a young man or a young woman, whether they stayed here or whether they went out into some other place in this country?
I think it would help. I'm not from here. I'm from a Pueblo down south, and I find that this bilingual program has really helped my children. And it's helped me understand a lot of things here in the Pueblo as to the dances and other cultures. And I find that it is a lot similar with a lot of things that I learned when I was growing up. But it does help, especially like Anthony was saying, in intermarriage, you know, when a husband or wife is from a different Pueblo. It does help, and the children do learn from it because I can see it in my own children that they have learned.
Okay, anybody have anything else on that?
Yes, I think that if I didn't know anything about my people here, and if I went to another meeting somewhere, I'm sure that the other tribes will ask me, how do you run this and how do you handle this? Now, how would I be able to answer if I didn't know any of my own culture and my own language?
How is the program organized and how is it funded?
It was organized about 3 years ago, imagined by one of our local people that was interested in bilingual education. Now, he was not an Indian himself, but he sort of gave us a challenge as to how the bilingual program could be instituted into our school system. And so steps were taken whereby we would get funds from Washington or through other title programs to fund this project, since it was a new project, and we wanted it to start as soon as possible. And so proposals were written and submitted to the Title IV people, and consequently we were funded, and we were funded yearly, and we had to submit the proposals yearly and try to compete with the other people that were asking for the same funds. And it doesn't matter whether the program is successful from year to year. You still have to compete with other tribes, because just because we have a good project going doesn't mean that we're going to be funded. So every year a proposal had to be written over, and the assessments taken, and all these things done as if it were going as a new proposal.
Some of the other people that we have talked to have said that this sort of funding procedure interferes with the progress of the program. Would you agree with that?
No, I don't think so. I think it helps an awful lot, because funds are very hard to come by these days.
And this is a Title IV.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else want to speak to the question of how the program is organized and how it's funded?
I'd just like to add that the only way we were going to get funded was through tribal administration. So this is why the tribal council took control of the program, and that was the only way we were funded.
We could add into it too that if something was to be done outside of the classroom or where it originated, it has to go to the tribal council for authorization before things are done.
Why is that? Why would you want it to go through the tribal council?
That is because they give their consent to this program. If they had not given their consent, then I don't think this bilingual program would have been originated.
Okay. Any other points on that question? How difficult is it to administer the program, and where do your teachers come from?
The teachers come from the community, and they had to go through training periods and seminars in order to become proficient in teaching the Tewa language. And they have taken summer courses in lexicology at the University of Albuquerque, and they have really progressed from from what they were before, because they were just ordinary people from the community that became interested in bilingual education, and they did an awful lot, and they put a lot of their time into this program, and it's paying off now very dearly.
Okay. Any other points on that?
Yes, I think if it wasn't for the interest that the teachers have in this program, this program would not have been where it is right now. But as Pauline said, the interest is what really carrying this program on. The interest of the teachers, their dedication, I guess you could say their sacrificing their own time most of the time to really put this program together.
How are materials developed for this program? Where do you draw the materials from?
The material coordinator is Mrs. Esther Martinez, and I don't know exactly where the materials come from, but I know that they do have some good materials from which they work. A lot of them it's thought out by the group themselves, and they develop most of their materials here.
Any other points on that question?
I'm kind of baffled by the materials you're talking about, because they do teach a lot of Indian arts and craft, and most of it is picked up around this community itself. like basket weaving, pottery, and all this stuff. The material is already here. So, you know.
It's just a matter of trying to take it and then teach it to the children.
Right.
Because the skills and the crafts are there already.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I ask that question is because a lot of times a school system will want to look for materials that are already developed. And I was wondering if there were any commercially available materials for this, but I doubt that there are. I think probably that the teaching of bilingual education and cultural history is so unique to a special separate tribe that it would be very difficult to put general materials together and send them to a lot of different tribes.
That's true.
Okay, take the next one.
Why is it important to use culturally relevant materials in the program?
I think that in demonstrating some of our dances and craft work, I think you need the materials, and you have to have that in order to show that this is the way it's done and this is how it's put together.
I might add too that when any of the dances are put on by the bilingual program, they don't substitute anything. They use the original or the culturally accepted items that are used in the various dances that they perform. They don't settle for imitations. It has to be the type that is used by the village itself, the costumes and the other paraphernalia that they use in their dances.
I guess we could go into saying also that the songs that are sung to them are done by a couple gentlemen that, maybe there's more than a couple, that helped with this bilingual program as far as programs go, like their Indian dances, and they volunteer to help to sing these songs. And they used everything original, drums, rattles, whatever. And it, like it's been said, never substituted.
Okay, next question.
What has been the effect on the children the program serves?
As a parent, I've gotten to see a lot of it from day to day, coming to the school and visiting the classrooms. You can see the children becoming more interested in their dances and in their culture, more like they're becoming really proud of what they are, being Indian and not having to kind of be ashamed of it. They're learning their dances, and they're learning what their dances are about. They're learning a lot of things that maybe some of the parents won't otherwise be able to really teach the children.
I'd like to make a comment on that too. I think that the importance has been stressed already. What do you say? What does it do for the child? Well, it makes the child aware of what his culture is all about. Sometimes I hear people talk about this program and say, you know, why are they teaching them a language they already know? And then, you know, you want to say that's not really the important thing they're being taught. They're being taught what's behind the language itself. I think that's the point that a lot of people don't understand. The culture, the functioning of the culture itself, etc.
And I'd like to add that the Christmas program that was presented, Christmas of this year, was a unique thing in the school because they had a lot of children participating in an all-Indian Christmas pageant where children that had never spoken Indian before or do not ordinarily talk Indian were involved in an Indian speaking part in the play. And they did a terrific job, and I think this has a lot to do with the teaching of the education, the Tewa education here, because even those children that did not learn their lines to say it without the book had a book to go by, and that they could even read Tewa, which is a very hard language to read. I think that was a very good thing. So that's another point that I'd like to bring out in that.
Anybody else? Have any comments on the effect on the children? What would you speculate might be the effect on these children who have learned the Tewa language, who have learned about their cultural history, say 10 or 15 years from now? What do you think their attitude will be about participating in council and other things that the Pueblo does? And again, this business of being proud to be an Indian.
I don't think that they would be afraid in the future to portray their Indian identity. They would be proud to be an Indian, and they would be proud to be able to serve their village in whatever capacity that may come up. And being that they have been indoctrinated in the Indian culture, they have been made aware of the importance of the Indian in this life, and they no longer can be ashamed of their culture as an Indian.
Anybody else on that? Okay.
How has the program been accepted by the people of San Juan Pueblo?
I think it has a good impact because whenever there's a lot of dances, you see a lot of new faces, and I think it's probably because of this program that people are taking a little more interest in the dances.
That's very true, because right now even this bilingual program extends even down to the Head Start school, because watching the dances, and then probably the teachers themselves again participating with a program like they mentioned, the Christmas program. The smaller ones are picking it up too, and then when they come here, they already know what the bilingual program is about. So the enthusiasm is already here, and they just fall right into it right from the kindergarten. So this makes this program stronger year by year.
I think at the beginning some of the parents were kind of skeptical about the program, about what they were going to teach the children and how it was going to be taught. A lot of the parents felt that maybe a lot of the stuff that they were going to teach them should be taught at home by the parents themselves or by the grandparents. But I think now these parents have more or less come to know the bilingual program, and they're fully behind it because they've seen now what it can do for the children and what it has taught the children. So now they're behind the program too, and they're not that skeptical about it anymore.
And going further than that, the bilingual program has extended into the religious life of the community, in that they have presented several masses in the Tewa language, and it has gone over real good because more people are going to church at least once a month or whenever there's a bilingual mass. And even the surrounding communities of Spanish-speaking people have really gone over real big for the Indian bilingual masses, and they're always asking when we're going to have another one, because they enjoy it, because we put our culture into the mass, our language, and the people of the village go to mass. Well, a lot of them go to mass, and this is a good thing because we are going into the religious life of the Pueblo also, and the bilingual program has done a terrific job in bringing the community together spiritually and otherwise.
We just had someone else come in. Maybe you could quickly run over all of the questions we've come to until now. see if you would like to address some of that.
Presentation that we did at the folk festival too.
Yeah, just start with the very first question.
What is your name and what is your role in the project?
My name is Herman Agoyo, and I get involved in the project from time to time, either requesting technical assistance from the program or helping to present the Pueblo of San Juan to our visitors. Our visitors come to San Juan and they like to see part of the Pueblo life, and the bilingual program usually is very responsive to presenting dances or being part of a program that tells what is happening in San Juan Pueblo.
What is the goal of the program and who does it serve?
The goal of the program, I believe, is to make the children of San Juan Pueblo proud to be Indians. I think for too long of a time, the education program, as it was designed for the Indian people, neglected who we are and what we are. And I think the bilingual education program is making a significant impact on this particular problem. Because of the program, I think our children will grow up to at an early age, realize that they are Indians, that they have something that they should be proud of, and this will help them to be successful people when they grow up.
How is the program organized and how is it funded?
The program is organized in such a fashion that it involves the tribal council as the grantee, and the money is administered through a program staff that's built within the bilingual education program. The setting is within the San Juan VIA day school program, where it should be, and this involves not only the community and its leadership, but the school community and naturally the parents, because they have their children within the school.
Why is it important to use culturally relevant materials in this program?
Well, because of the fact that because you speak your native language, the thinking processes are quite different, and when you base your teaching on what the children already know, learning becomes easier.
What has been the effect on the children the program serves?
I'm not too sure what the effect have been on the children so far, but in taking in what programs that have been presented by the program, I know that the youngsters are glad to be in the program. They're not afraid, as we were in times past. They're enthused about participating, and you can see a lot of happy faces within whatever activities that they are participating in.
How has the program been accepted by the people of San Juan Pueblo?
I think generally the people accept the program very well and are very much impressed with what has been accomplished to date.
So the next question then would be to the whole group. Yeah.
Would you like to see the program continue and expand it?
I think that it should be continued and expanded because they are doing such a wonderful job that I would certainly hate to see it end here. And I understand that the students that have left the day school, that have gone to junior high, are really pressing the people here to continue it over the junior high level. So you can see that the children and the enthusiasm of the children is still there, no matter if they go beyond the grades that are being taught in the Tewa language.
Not only that, I think that we have so much material and the personnel to continue that I hate to see it drop there.
We're so far behind in the education of Indian children, and it's going to take us years and years to develop the kind of learning situation that is taking the rest of society to develop their materials. So for this reason, it's important that this be an ongoing program. Look at the number of years it's taken to develop the textbooks that are white man oriented. Now it's going to take that many years to teach our own people to become professionals, and to let the program die out would be a drastic mistake on everybody's part.
Not only will it affect the children, but I think the learning that the teachers have already gotten will be wasted also. Maybe they could go elsewhere, but I don't think there'll be another program like the program we have here.
Yeah, it should be continued. I don't think that it should be stopped now because, like Mr. Agoya was saying, it's taken a long time for the white man to develop their kind of textbooks, and if the program does keep continuing, as years go by, maybe the white man can learn from the Indian textbooks for a change. And it'd be a way of informing the white people, so-called, to learn about the Indians. I mean, what a real Indian is, not an Indian that's running around half naked and this kind of thing, but to really inform the white society about what an Indian really is.
Anybody else like to speak to that point? Okay. And does anybody have anything that they'd like to say about the program at this point that maybe you thought of while we were asking the other questions? I think you've done a very good job.
I might like to add that we were given national recognition this summer, or international recognition, I would say, when the group was invited to participate in the 41st International Eucharistic Congress in Philadelphia. And of course, we went with the governor's blessing, which we would have not been able to do unless he had gave us permission. So we thank the governor and his staff for allowing us to go and participate in a Native American Mass in Philadelphia, and we had quite a number of people that attended from other nations that were very impressed. And I later on learned that the Pope's, should I say, not the Viceroy, but the Pope's representative in this country for the celebration had taken pictures of the butterfly dance that was presented during the offertory of the Mass, and he was very impressed. So the Pope said that he didn't realize that the American Indian culture had been implemented into the Native American Mass, and he was very impressed. And I thought this was a very good international recognition for our program.
In addition to that, the group also participated in the American Folklife Festival that was held during the week of August 4th through the 8th. And the San Juan was represented by other Pueblo members, but the bilingual education program took time out to travel to Washington to be part of the program. In addition to that, the program itself was represented throughout the entire week by two of the staff members who displayed the and talked about the materials that were developed by the program, and created a lot of interest on the part of the visitors that came to Washington.
Do you think your lieutenant would like to say anything in Tewa about what he thinks about it?
How they want Pikunda meant what to him.
Hey. Rane kai ho. Horin kori poha hori hi dawa noe. Hamba ho iwi hi ang ho. Ne ho taki ho ito ha kunda wong ha. Hamba ho isha noe. O vitu kama iwe. Hamba tori wa tukan wa ho isha ho. Heran ne ho iwi ho ne ho na pare ho. No, hamba na bis no ho na mo yo srei ho na mo to yo ho na mo hamba no ho iwi agi ho ro we me we hamba we mo we gin po yo ne hamba no ho vi agi ho anke we hamba no a ko uindaran hamba ne hon te soiri hamba agin di ho hu we agin di ho ma we ona heran ho no ho tu ai ho iwi ko ho mo I hamba no wenge wan we ge wan hamba ho we to ma ke an ho ku yo vi se do vi hi ho
Now, I would like for you all just to let me get some shots so that I can change from one picture to another. So if everyone would look to their left as though this gentleman were speaking at this point, I just want to take a couple of shots.
I should have combed my hair.
Oh, you look fine. I just want to get a couple of what we call cutaways so that one person would finish, and another person would start to talk, and I would have to change the camera over. So I just want to get a couple of shots here, as though you were listening to what someone had to say. Okay, now if everyone would turn in the opposite direction and look in this direction. This will be very helpful when we edit this all together.
Yeah. I think we should have put it under something.
You did, yes. No, I told you to give us enough time. Because you did.
So they have to teach us the same question.
Yeah. Get your tongue out of that.